So greetings everybody, and how are we this afternoon? I see you guys are joining to chime on today's Ordinary Voices uh, session. So quick one. I see Watton has joined. I see Deng has joined. So first, I'm curious. I know the World Cup has just ended. Tell me which team you are supporting and why you are supporting that team. That's where we always have to start, especially when we are in a football season. So, guys, I'm curious to hear the team you are supporting in the World Cup. Which team were you supporting, Watton?
I was supporting Brazil.
Why were you supporting Brazil?
I was supporting Brazil because of this player known as the Ronaldo player.
Oh, Ronaldo. Okay.
He inspired me when, inspired me when I was still a young boy, just to nurture or to ensure that talent is something that can pay, and that's why I focus on the art as part of my talent.
Okay. Then which team were you supporting for the
Until
World
the
Cup?
time that they were knocked out.
For me, I really don't know which particular team it was, but then again, I was leaning towards England.
Why were you supporting England? I'm curious.
I was supporting England because of Declan Rice and Bukayo Saka, because I'm an Arsenal fan, and those guys are some serious Arsenal players. But then again, also when they couldn't make it to the finals, I was supporting Spain after that. So it was just those two. But then again, also I was supporting the entire African nation. All the teams that represented Africa, I was supporting them, apart from South Africa.
I know Mande Luka might be smiling and then he might be questioning why not South Africa. But Mande, tell us which team you are supporting for the World Cup and why. Just curious. Tell us.
Yeah, for me, I was supporting initially Portugal because of the quality of football they have. The like of Vitina, the like of Joe Mendes, yeah, like Ronaldo in the prisons. Yeah, I was admired to support that team. Then again, I supported France simply because of the quality of football, like I said before. When it comes to Africa now, I was supporting Morocco. I was actually having two teams. That was Morocco, followed by Portugal, because they have the quality of football like these people of Europe, and also the determination in the team. Then, unfortunately, I was heartbroken because our team was defeated from Africa. And then now I had to go for France. Then finally, I was again heartbroken when the France team was again defeated.
So Mande, you've just been shifting around teams. I like Deng. Deng also seems to be supporting every team. So except Mr. Watton, who was supporting only one team. But if somebody was to ask you, do you think Spain deserved to win that match, to win the World Cup? Just like as we get into this conversation just shortly.
No, for me, I was not expecting the result.
Mm-hmm.
I had to convince myself hardly that this is now a football. So I don't have to take it too personal. For me, the quality I was seeing after all was on France. That should have won the World Cup.
Then, how about you?
Yeah, they deserve it.
Mr. Olungata, I'm listening keenly.
For me, I was for Argentina.
No way.
If not Brazil.
Argentina. Okay.
Yeah.
I know with this sort of a conversation, it can take over from really, really main things over here. But first, my friends, for you who are joining us online, Mine is to first welcome everybody to this Ordinary Voices session. Probably I need to turn my camera on so that my guests can actually see who is speaking, because I'm asking them to turn their cameras on and see me in the dark. So my name is Peter, and nice to see you, everybody. So look, nice to see you. And today's session, we are going to look at Ordinary Voices. We call it the July edition, where the goal for the month is partnership for the goals. And I know I got Deng, who is an artist. He might tell us what he's doing with the creative He Arts initiative. I'm deeply curious about that because he's the founder of that. So I'll be curious to hear what he does around community development, mental health awareness, and he's also on gender-based activism. And then Mr. Watton also does something on Watian arts. He's an advocate for equality, gender, youth, disability inclusion, and SDG number 5. And Monday also talks about gender-based violence. He's deeply into case management. He's a case management officer. He does things on humanitarian interventions. He's a counselor. And then he does some things on child protection. All that today, we want to be able to put that together and link all this to probably see how communities at grassroots level can collaborate to ensure that we all collaborate to achieve the sustainable development goals. If you are meeting me for the first time again, my friends, I'm Peter. I'm stepping in for Alia, who always coordinates the session, and she just caught up with other issues she's dealing with. So I know I've introduced you guys. If I forgot anything, I give you a chance now to introduce yourself. Let me start with Deng, for Bez, as his real name. Go for it, Deng. Introduce yourself.
All right. Thank you so much for that introduction. I don't think there's anything you've missed out from what you've said. And of course, yes, as the founder of Creative Hearts Initiative, I was inspired, because I understand how a problem can be solved from the grassroots level. And I think with the current atmosphere of our country, especially when it comes to politics and social cohesion, I think we have a lot of work to do. Now, the grown-ups are a little bit difficult to talk to because it takes a lot of work, to try and convince people that are already grown-ups with a certain system that they have already adapted to. But for the young ones, it's easy to, to transform their mind to a different direction other than what they are being told from their families. And that's why Creative Hearts Initiative was founded. Now, when you look at South Sudan, it has been ravaged by conflict, several years of conflict. I grew up in conflict, of course, and I ended up having a proper access to education in Kenya and Uganda. So I had that privilege. But for those that are stuck here, for those that don't have access to proper education, especially within the country, and cannot even go outside, it's really difficult for them to, to have quality education when they really need it. And we also have the post-war shocks, especially the survivors of conflict, and especially young ones. And I've seen a lot of NGOs, create programs and projects that are directed to adults that most of the time they don't include. There is a bit of lack of inclusivity when it comes to especially peace building programs, and that affects young people, of course. So Creative Hearts Initiative targets young people and mostly children and young adolescents. So the programs that we create try to empower them with social issues like gender-based violence, their rights to education, domestic chores, and stuff like that. So these are things that we work on, and we also encourage and promote full access to education. And we use, we try to supply sanitary items to the girls to encourage, school retention and and prevent periodic absenteeism from school, especially for the girls that don't have access to sanitary items. We are currently actually calling on many people to make donations in form of sanitary items. And for those that want to give cash, we don't mind, but mostly we would like, the sanitary items and like for us to be able to distribute to a few schools that we have selected.
Right.
If you
So then I think that is a really, really in-depth introduction. So well done. Let's go to Monday and then we go to Olungata. Tell us a bit about the work you do so that somebody joining us online can actually tell who you are, what you do.
Yeah, thank you for the chance again. I'm Monday Luka Mon from South Sudan. Personally, I engage in dealing with people with vulnerabilities of different kind in some part of South Sudan through humanitarian work in the past years. Now we can see a lot of people are struggling. The work I've been doing has something to do with elderly people, these people who are suffering because of lack of, crucial supports that they may need for their life. You see, we also deal with children that are living with vulnerabilities of all kinds. Then again, there was a lot of challenge in which we had to put together our hands of support. So the major support we have been giving to do some sorts of family reunification for children that has been separated with their children, with their families, I mean to say, because of the situation that has been happening in South Sudan in the past years. South Sudan has been struggling with a lot of issues to do with human rights. People have been dying because of lack of food. People have been dying because of, especially children, because of malnutrition, lack of health care, and also disaster that are coming throughout the past years. Now we have been having this challenge of lack of adequate funding from the donors because even what we have been supporting them with has not been enough. I work with some humanitarian in which some of them are really, really committed to serve. But now when we come to the challenge of funding, we don't have anything to do. It has been very detailed one because we also engage in child protection. We engage in case management. We engage in counseling. People are going through a lot. So all the things we have been putting together has been all to serve. So people should live as God intended, because the intention of God for all of us is everybody should is supposed to be living a high life. Even if you want to live a life on your own way, even if you want to cultivate, there is no way you can do your own things peacefully, simply because there is no peace in some part of the countries. Though a lot of people are trying their efforts to now bring peace to the people, things are not happening as planned. So to me, I think it is very important for them to have that awareness. We have to carry out the needed awareness so that people can learn. People should know also where to get help. They should know where to report the cases, where they can get help, and now we can also be doing a lot of much of the deal to do with the referrals, so that people should get what they need, because all of us cannot provide them. Even the humanitarian we have been working with have not been providing fully 100%, but they tried their level. But now we do referral, which is for another agency that is providing. We have been like putting hands together to report to among ourselves.
All right. I think That's also another detailed intro. So, Mr. Olungata, do you want to chime in and also share your side of the story?
Oh, yes. Thank you, Peter, for this. As you've said, my name is Watono Lungata, and the introduction you gave, it was a wholesome one. And yes, as what an art, we use art to inform people, to inform the communities about what is right for them, to know their rights, their civil rights, to know what they need to do right and what they do not need to do. And then we also, as a disability inclusion and gender equality champion, we also get to know what are these challenges that the persons with disabilities are going through. Because yes, policies are there, driving the countries, driving the nations. Do we have like holistic inclusion for persons living with different disabilities to achieve what we need to achieve? Also, to get into the gender equality bit of it, I do more of male engagement just to ensure that the male are involved and they are like the catalysts to ensure that we achieve the SDG number 5 on matters gender equality. Because what I know and I believe is that it can never be achieved if men are not involved. Yes, we'll say it to be done, but if men are not part of it, then we are just doing it for the sake of doing it, but not for the sake of impact. We'll see the impact from the girl child, but the boys will have more damage within the community or the society at the end, but not achieving what we intend to achieve. So we do more of male engagement, and we go to reaching out to men. Kind of it's tough, it's challenging, because you see, you cannot go talk to a man or a group of men on matters gender equality. They'll bring all sort of cultural norms, all sort of the masculinity bit of it, and sometimes it's challenging. Now, what the major gap that we have, it's just the same way my colleagues have said on matters of resource mobilization. I think one unique thing that we're doing is we do local resource mobilization, like we're reaching out to the MCAs, the local youth leaders, the local MPs, just to ensure that they support within the cause, they support the idea that we have on matters gender equality. How can we engage more men? We also have persons living with disabilities. How can we involve them? How can we have them be part of this journey? Because we tend to forget about these persons with disabilities. Yes, you'll find within the asset, the state or our asset structure, there's women with disabilities and men with disabilities. But these youths with disabilities, where are they? Or are we waiting for them to be men enough or past 35 years as per the Kenyan constitution, past 35 years senior citizen? Or are we waiting for them to be at 18 years? And then you say, we tell them, we say they are youths with the women with disabilities or men with disabilities. So we are looking at bridging the gap to have the youths with disabilities and championing these, especially the men living with different disabilities, to champion and be the catalyst of SDG, so that we get to achieve the gender equality bit of it. Because at the end of the day, they are all involved and they are all part of the journey to ensure that it's done. And also on matters art, I also use the emceeing bit of it just to ensure that to educate the different communities and societies on what SDGs are. Because you find that, yes, as the global youth target is to achieve the SDG number 5 or the SDGs that are set there. But within the grassroots levels, not all or many of our communities or even some of the organizations, themselves, they don't understand matters SDGs. Not unless we reach out to them, then it's kind of a challenge at the grassroots level. You find a team of players, we engage male after talking to them about gender equalities and everything. And then the next question is, we don't have kits, we don't have uniforms, we don't have these. And then you feel like it's what you've been discussing to them, it never made sense to them. But again, you find one success story that one man comes and tells you, I've been going through this, can you connect me to a counselor? That's a success. And now after doing that, you follow up and see the change. Now, what if we have all men talk, or all men, just the same way ladies go to the counselors, the hospitals, or they talk within themselves? Can we have more community grassroots engagement to have more men discuss their issues within themselves without zero judgment, just for the purpose of growth and the purpose of achieving equality?
All right.
That's the question that always ran around my head.
All right. I think now that is a really, really good point to get this conversation started. Probably guests are online there. They're asking, why can't we see the guest photos or cameras or something? But before the guests turn their cameras on, there is this topic. 10 years gone, only 15% of the sustainable development goals are on track. Then I know you are on SDG 3, that is good health and well-being. Wharton, you are on SDG 5, that is gender equality. And Monday, you are also on SDG 5, based on gender. So if you turn your cameras on, somebody is curious and is asking, what do you guys think is working in your countries? And what do you think is not working in your countries that people might be interested to know? So tell us what you think is working that needs to be scaled, and what is not working that you think that needs to be stopped. And if you can do that in the next 3 minutes each, that will be like really, really cool. And Mande, because you are on camera, you came first, please dive right in.
Yeah, briefly to answer on the question, I think in the current position of South Sudan, the only thing that is working is the current peace process, which we have been struggling to implement with a lot of challenge. And that one alone, if we could join our hands as a country to put all the efforts together to continue with that peace. So now that will be the guarantee for all the challenge in relation to human rights to be overcome. Otherwise, all the challenge that are related to human rights cannot be managed to be controlled. As one of the major challenge, we have been witnessing issues to do with armed conflict, things related to revenge killing in many parts of South Sudan, in which some of them are instigated by a group of people with different interests. A lot have been also recorded in relation to cattle raiding. So if this peace agreement is to be implemented as soon as possible and fully, I believe we can be in good position to now work against all the challenge against human rights. Thank you.
Interesting. So peace in South Sudan. I know I got few friends. I met James just like must be last month, and I was asking how is peace in South Sudan. So he told me, except from being hot and all those stuff, there is like now peace coming coming along in South Sudan, and I was like really pleased to hear that. Actually, he signed a billion signature ball, which is I think that is the first signature from South Sudan. So appreciate you sharing that, Mandy. So let's go to Deng. I know you both come from South Sudan. What is working in South Sudan for you in relation to SDG number 3, good health and well-being? And what is not working that needs to be stopped to actually help achieve the targets for SDG 3? Then go for it.
All right. Thank you for that. I think South Sudan has been progressing, gradually, and as a young nation that is faced with a lot of conflicts, um, economic shocks, climate-induced disasters, it's doing pretty well for itself. Now, in the health sector, South Sudan has improved a little bit. We have statistics showing from 2024 that indicate that about there's been an improvement in the maternity immortality rates. Yeah. So basically, what's happening is that, like, in about 100,000 births, live birth, there is at least only maybe like 1,200 and something deaths. Previously, it was standing at 2,000. Right now, it's at 1,200 and something. So that is a bit of an improvement in the health sector. So I can give that to our country, but also, like, there's still need and room for improvement. How many public health facilities do we have? We don't have that many at the moment, but within Juba, there's a bit of improvement because we've seen, like, private sector has improved when it comes to establishing health centers. So that is something that we can say, but there is still more room needed for improvement.
All right. I know you are just touching on the maternal mortality rate and the improvement of the health sector in South Sudan. Let's get to Mr. Watton. Watton, how is SDG 5 doing in Kenya? What is working, what is not working, and what needs to be changed so that that target can be achieved by 2030?
So in Kenya, for SDG 5 in Kenya, it's making a progress, yes. And what is working well in Kenya is that we have more and good organizations that are supporting more girl child on ensuring that they are knowing themselves, they know how to defend themselves, they know how to report what happens. Like, we have more girl engagement that they know about their rights. We also have different organizations that are supporting on matters civic education within the different communities. We also have some of the organizations that are supporting the boy child, of which it's a very little progressive move that you see on matters the boy child. And then another thing that is not working. Now, what is not working, it's on more of male engagement. Because, like, within the and dealing with the unemployed youths in Kenya, it's kind of challenging. You see, recently you've heard about the Gunzi thing. The Gunzi, the goons are all over the country, and when you look at these goons, majority of them are men. So how will we engage these men? And do you think we will achieve the gender equality having more goons who are men? So that's the major challenge that we currently have. And I don't know how it's going to be, because it's already, it's politicized. Like, it's politicized. Every politician, and we've had, they're now throwing balls left, right, and center amongst themselves. And this, it's going to affect even the entire nation and the entire achievement of this SDG thing. So I think unemployment and the Gunzi thing on Mel, it's something that it's alarming. That's what I can say for now.
All right. Now we know you. Now we know what is working and what is not working. Now this is a session for you. This segment will be a segment for you to specifically spare the next 3 minutes each to tell us, or who is viewing all this call or who will watch it later, what are you doing as a person to tackle the issue or the SDG you are deeply passionate about. I will start with Monday. So in this case, you tell us purely what you are doing to address the SDG or to address that challenge in your community. And then we hear what you need probably in terms of help, in terms of support, and in terms of like interventions that you might want people listening to join in and probably support. Monday, go for it.
Yeah, basically, I've been participating in youth organizations, that is associations and leadership in relation to what we can do with our contribution to what is already been planned for us to tackle the challenge we have been facing. The major role in relation to my participation is to make sure giving an awareness to youth to now prioritize their self-development. When you develop as a human mentally, you are mentally now strong, you will also be able to now give an awareness for people to participate only on things that are related to peace, so that you do away with things that is contributing to the destruction of the nation. We have gone through a lot, and now as youth of this country, we have this mentality of us being the future leaders. We have the imagination and we are now putting it into practice. But by so doing, you have to now focus on yourself, develop your mental capacity. You now learn a lot of things. Like you read a lot of books, that is the wisdom of other people, so that you internalize it. Then you contribute to the awareness raising campaigns that are going out there to the communities, so that they prioritize safety from themselves. That one is most important thing now. I've been contributing positively to my fellow youth, that apart from you participating in things that contribute to the destruction, you contribute to the awareness raising campaigns so that peace could come back. Because in the current affair we are in, there is already a peace agreement in the process in the country. The grassroots is really suffering, and the contributing factors may be in one way or another the contribution of youth. So for them, they should also be joining the campaign for peace to come back home. This is the major thing I'm now doing, and I've been working very hard to now work with the youth group, with the organizations, even with the civil society organization, to now support the activities that matter in provision of psychosocial support, counseling, and also peace building. This is very important, and this is what is on my table now, so that this one alone can now forge a way for human right to be observed. So this is it. And the other thing I'm also doing is from the personal base, because for me, I do support only thing that I know will now contribute to the reality of peace, like things related to football, psychosocial support, personal growth. Thank you.
All right. We now know Monday is busy on peace. So anybody listening, I see Mara Basin watching there online, and I see a few people also joining online. If you know anybody dealing with peace, Monday is your go-to guy. Let's hear from Deng. Deng, tell us initiative you are doing to address, or your initiative, the Creative He Arts initiative. Talk to us exactly what you do in relation to promoting SDG 3 and probably the help you need and probably new things that can be done to ensure that SDG 3 is achieved. Go for it.
All right. I just want to make something, I want to make a few corrections. So Creative Hearts Initiative previously identified only three very important SDGs. And that is SDG 1, SDG 4, and SDG 5. These are our core and very important goals that we're working towards. I would have shared my screen, but I don't know if that's possible.
I'm sure you can. But we will encourage you to carry on, and then we will find you to share it.
Oh, okay, no worries. Yeah. All right. So basically, what we have done, especially, we have chosen three major ones, major SDGs, because we believe the three are very interlinked, and we feel like one cannot exist without the other, and that is, SDG 1, which is no poverty. As we know, poverty has been a very prevalent crisis in Africa, and South Sudan is not an exemption to this issue, especially with the current rise in, rise in inflation rates, and how products and things are just increasing in prices and stuff like that. So our core focus area is economic vulnerability and educational access. Now, the baseline poverty directly affects access to nutrition, healthcare, learning materials, and this leads to children dropping out of school and also forcing them into labor. And many of the young girls later on end up in forced and early child marriage. So this is why we want to focus on ending poverty. And also, if we end poverty, it will also help families try to, focus on putting their girls in school instead of like marrying them off, so that they can gain something for themselves for survival. And also, we would like to increase the poverty also, increases communal violence, and we can see that through cattle rustling, where like a certain community will go and try to steal cows from another. And our next SDG is SDG 4, that is quality education. Now, our core focus is equitable and inclusive learning for all. And our programs target all gender, doesn't only focus on girls' education, because we try to encourage the boys also to be able to be advocates within their communities, to encourage their parents and relatives to put their sisters and cousins and all the girls to school, so that discrimination doesn't happen within the houses. Now, education serves as the ultimate catalyst for breaking generational poverty and also fostering critical awareness on human rights and social justice. So when these young people are educated, they are capable of knowing and understanding what their rights are, and also being able to become advocates within their communities. Now, the good news is that South Sudan has slightly improved its literacy rate by 7.52%, moving up from 26.98% in 2008 to 34.5% as of 2024. So that is a slight improvement. Now, I did not get the statistics for the recent one for the 2026, but we're working towards accessing that information. So we can see there is a bit of improvement 2 years back. So we can imagine what has changed right now with all these education stakeholders that have come up. Right now, we have the National Education Coalition, that is a body that is hosting quite a number of education stakeholders and NGOs that are focused on improving the education sector. So this is something that is positive that is coming from the other side. Now, our next SDG is SDG 5, that is gender equality. Now, the gender discrimination that is happening in South Sudan previously was very intense. We have seen a lot of young girls being murdered. We have seen young women being forced into marriages, and if they don't accept, they end up in jail, they end up being punished, and so much femicide that's happening also within the local communities. But this being our main focus is that gender-based violence awareness and equal domestic division, that is our main core focus. And also challenging this proportionate domestic shores and GBV creates equal learning opportunities and empowers young girls and boys. Because within the communities, we have gender shores that have been allocated for girls that are somehow very intense. And these are things that can be done even by the boys as well. But you find that after school, the boys go and play football, go and have other games they can play, but the girl has to go and fetch water. She has to, cook. She has to do a lot of cleaning and here and there, leaving her with only little time to study. So now we would like to encourage families to kind of, support their girls, distribute gender shores properly within their family, so that both genders, the boy and the girl, can have enough time to study. And also creating inclusive learning spaces where girls and boys share ideas and participate in creative activities. So as Creative Hearts Initiative, we also encourage boys and girls to work together. We're not this type that comes and says, we're only focusing on girl empowerment. Yes, there's other people that are doing girl empowerment. I don't have a problem with that. But I want to create an environment, where boys and girls interact with each other, where boys and girls see each other as equal members, of this community that we live in, and also as equal members that can contribute positively and economically to the progress of the country. So this is what we do, and we within certain schools and also an orphanage. Recently, we created an art club in a certain orphanage here in Juba, and that art club will include boys and girls, and they will participate in creative activities where they will be able to share their ideas together and get to know each other. It doesn't matter what tribe you are from or what is your background, but you can come together and share ideas regardless of your gender as well. So this is what also we are working on. Now, I want to touch on the impact and key successes, like what's working out currently in those 3 SDGs. Now we have enhanced understanding of gender equality. Within the schools that we've been to, young people have been able to understand the importance of, working together, the importance of sharing opportunities amongst themselves. No opportunities that are meant for boys and no opportunities that are meant for girls, unless specified with proper reasons. But other than that, we have encouraged that, and young people within those schools, especially in Mangala IDP camp, those young boys and girls that we worked with fully understand what it means to, to be working together as one people, regardless of the gender. Now, school children have developed a clearer understanding of gender dynamics. Yes, we have different physical abilities. And for that, it allows young people to also understand what kind of activities that can be taken up by the boys and which ones can be taken up by the girls. Not because of you are a girl, you have to do this, but because of the physical ability of that person. We also have young boys that are incapable of carrying or lifting heavy materials. You understand? So this is something that we try to instill in them. And also they can now identify and question harmful stereotypes, recognizing that domestic chores should not fall discriminatorily on young girls at the expense of their education. So, for instance, like a girl has to go fetch water and the boy has to go play. We don't have a problem with a girl fetching water, but how much time does she have for her to be able to study? And what is the role of the boy in the family? You understand? To also feel like a contributing member of the family. Instead of just being the one that goes and enjoys free time, can you also contribute within the family and do certain things? So these are some areas that we have also embarked on. Now we have also empowered youth expression and educational rights awareness. Now students freely express their views on children's rights and the quality of education they receive. You see? So that has allowed young people to be able to speak up. And we have seen on certain social media platforms like Facebook where they question the kind of the quality of education they've received, and they've been following up with education results. So there's an active participation of young people in wanting a quality education. Now, shared consensus has emerged regarding children's fundamental rights to an uninterrupted quality education. Kids now know that they deserve quality education. They deserve access to learning materials. This is something that we have also instilled in those young people. Now, many girls have sought support from local authorities regarding their rights to education and fight against forced marriage. Now, we have young girls who are able now to report cases of forced marriage, especially in Mangala. They can report to local authorities when they are being forced to get married. This is a
I know, Deng, I know this is really, really in-depth, and I like the aspect of the art club. And I see a lot of element of what you are doing and what Watton did mention when he started his introduction on what they are doing with Imarisha Usawa in relation to gender-based violence. So let me loop in Mr. Walton also to tell us a bit about his initiative. So then we can link with Monday talking about peace, you are talking about gender and what Watton is also doing with other organizations and Watian Arts. So then together we can see probably how could you all collaborate to scale your initiatives. I appreciate you sharing what you've shared. And Mr. Watton, dive right in. I know you got 3 to 4 minutes to do so.
Yeah.
Chime in.
Okay. I might even take less than that time. So for us, what we're doing, we are doing more male engagement just to ensure that men are part of ensuring that we achieve the SDG number 5 goal. And to start with, within Westland Sub-County, I have 2 facilities that I'm closely working and following up with. Is the Kangemi Health Center, and we have the Reruta, that we have youth-friendly services, especially for young men. So when a man comes to that facility, even the CHPs, together with the community health assistants, they are able to get the services they need, like immediately, or all the holistic services that they need to get. We also see, like, in fact, for Reruta Hospital, the other day, they were appreciating the male service providers of the facility, like what they do and how they do. And you find even the ladies appreciating the clinician and the male clinicians and the male doctor at the labor ward. Some say that he did a good job. If not for that man, I don't know where I will be now. In Kangemi Health Center, I've seen and I've found the CHPs, the male CHPs are now targeting the male young men to be brought to book, to be brought at the facility so that they can receive the services. Because initially we used to see the influx of young girls at the facility, but now we had to sit down and get to know where are these men? How can we engage them? Because you see now doing contact tracing of certain infection that has been found from a certain lady, it's difficult when you don't have these men within us or within the environment. Also for Imarisha Usawa as one of the action points for our next season, our season 3, we've also agreed that we are going to engage men, the boys' schools. At least we have the male players on board, so that we get to engage and capacity build them on matters gender equality, just to ensure that we bring that aspect of the power balance within the two genders. Also, I've had my other colleague has mentioned about the gender roles. Yes, gender roles. That's what it brings. It brings a lot when we see that the men are. You find some say that in the community norms that were initially there. So we are trying to address about these community norms that were there, embracing the positive ones while eliminating the negatives that might not help us achieve the gender equality bit of it. And one unique thing about the current facilities is mostly within the Westland sub-county where I'm focused on currently, and some part of Bungoma and the western side of Kenya, you find in most men when they come in, at first they fear speaking out, like they find it hard to say what they are going through until the results comes out from the laboratory. That's when you find this man is ready to speak, is now ready to ask for help, and even do a referral for other men that he feels within his circle need the same service or the same facility. So I currently also use the local coaches to go to the local male teams and the service providers from the facility. It's an ongoing discussion that we can do an outreach for that. We just go have men getting this psychosocial support and the gender equality and the gender norms issue, so that we can ensure that they are all informed and get the community norm that has already been there, that the girl child is the only person who is being supported, of which it's the other way around, because they say when a mother is at home, then the home is safe than when the dad is at home alone without the mom. So you find, but again, when you ask the mom, she'll tell you, I need the father, I need dad here. So we are all important, and it's interdependent thing. So basically, that's what we are doing. And then the next few months, these facilities, because it's like a champion male engagement activity, I know the two facilities will give us an overview or a better outcome where we can develop and do more partnerships to engage more in different regions or different communities of our state and even the entire world. That's what I'll have to say for now.
Right. So
thank you.
Well done, guys. So I now know you guys know where each of you fall in. It will be now a matter of you collaborating and seeing areas you could synergize and do things together. Now, this would be even your parting shot or like a closing remarks. Most people say that the young people are not taken seriously, especially in the current world. We are talking about youth unemployment, we are talking about inclusivity, we are talking about peace. What can young people actually do to be taken seriously when it comes to development matters? Let's start with Deng, and this time you go for 1 minute each. So then we can wrap up on time. So Deng, go for it.
All right. So I think what young people can do is network with each other. I do believe there's a lot of learning that can happen when people network. And I also believe that through networking, you can be able to, start initiatives. So be job creators as well in the process while you're networking, and also seek opportunities and grab them. Don't just sit back and complain about what the government is not doing. Be part of those that are trying to improve the lives of other young people. So this is what I think young people can do to shape it.
All right. Appreciate that. It's networking and supporting each other. Appreciate that from you, Deng. Monday, what can the young people do so that they are taken seriously in relation to development?
Yeah, it is a very good question, and it is worth to be put into practice so that we go with what we intend. I believe what young people should do to be taken seriously is for them, number one, they should invest in education and skills. Most of the time, young people wanted to get the opportunities, but even if the opportunities are available, you will find out some of them doesn't have the needed quality knowledge. I mean the needed skills. Then that is also a challenge. For you to be taken seriously, you need to invest in yourself. You need to invest in skill so that you are taken seriously by anybody. The government will provide you a job just simply because you have the needed skill. Even the other opportunity providers, you will not be just somebody who is sitting there, but you will be running up and there looking for opportunity. But if you are found out that you don't have the needed skills, you will be left out. Maybe number two, young people should also be engaged in volunteer activities in the community so that they are taken seriously. You will see some people, when it comes to voluntary work, they sit back and they may expect like payment and benefits before they could serve the community. So there is need for you to be seen as an asset by the community so that you are provided. That is why normally people say, don't ask what your country will do for you, but you first explore what you can do for your country. Now the payback will come. Another one youth could do is to build leadership skill. Sometimes even this youth engagement, these youth activities, even the community youth leadership, the associations, and all this, you will see somebody struggling to be a leader without the quality of leadership. You will see them, some of them are close minded, they don't want to learn from their fellow youth, and they want to be leaders. Then, when they are given the leadership opportunity now, they will finally spoil the association, and people will come out with a lot of conflict. That are normally instigated, I think, and I believe by the leaders. So you need to be somebody who is solving problems instead for you to just be somebody who is there in the leadership position in which you are now just bragging that you are leader, you are without providing the quality. Which,
I think
yeah,
I think those are really, really insightful,
yeah.
Monday, because you are touching about people just complaining and bringing excuses, and then they don't want to actually do things. Then they blame the government. So let me get Mr. Watton also to bring us on that. So we got 3 more minutes before we end it, but I appreciate you sharing that. Mr. Watton. chime right in and let's hear your ideas on what young people can do if they are to be taken seriously.
For me, what young people can do, I think I have 1, 2, 3. It's just three or four major points. Mm-hmm. And point number 1, this one I was given by one of my peers. I'll say my peers or one of my friends, my young friends. And she's a great person, and I appreciate her so much. She's Elizabeth Oliuba, who told me this. She told me, always pray, even if things are hard and getting tough. Pray and get out of your comfort zone. So if young people can pray and get out of their comfort zones, I know it will do wonders, because it's happening to me. I'm a success story on that. And it's something that I know if most young people can do that, it will be good for our generation and our community at large. Another thing is you speak out. If young people can speak out what they want, you speak out what you want, then people will listen to you and you'll do it the way you want it to be done, as long as it's for the benefit of the entire community. Once you speak it out, then be assured that it will be done. And then you get the correct mentor for your interesting or your intended skills. If you have the correct mentor for yourself, then you're good to go. Mark the word correct. Some mentors are not correct for our youth. But if you have the correct mentor as a youth or as youths, then we are good to go for the better of our generations. Then we have the last bit is having the correct and the right friends or the network within you. If you have the correct network, then you'll have to grow, because there's this statement that they say, show me your friend and I'll tell you who you are. So to me, that's what the youths need to do. And I know together we'll achieve the SDGs as per the specified time. Thank you.
I'm appearing on camera now because you guys have been very insightful on this sort of a conversation, and looking at your insights in relation to what you guys have said that the young people needs to do for them to be taken seriously, just caught my eyes and ears, talking about getting out of comfort zone, volunteering for opportunities, networking with each other, believing that each young person has got something to offer, and just taking ourselves seriously first before anyone else takes us seriously. So I think you guys have been exciting. And for me and the team at Global Youth Forum, our aim is to get people started. I see passion in you all. It happens that we happen to be men in this group today, which is sort of interesting, but we might need to get Elizabeth and other people like Ralia to get us more ladies in these conversations, so that all of us together, we can join hands and lift each other up. So I think for me, it has been exciting and interesting. And I think you guys can now probably start thinking, how could we collaborate? Because I know Watton and Deng, you guys are all artists. And I know Mr. Monday, you are on gender-based violence. So there is a commonality between what all of you are doing. So us is to get this conversation started and probably steer it to the next level. So with that, I have to say thank you everybody for joining in. It has been pleasure hosting and listening to great ideas that you guys have. And I definitely look forward to how we could collaborate and probably see how South Sudan and Kenya can collaborate in promoting gender equality, SDG 5, SDG 1 from Deng, 4, 5, and also 3. So with that, anybody is free to give us the parting shot. I know, Deng, you've been quiet. So chime in and bring us home in the next 1 minute.
Okay. Is this a goodbye or what?
It's your closing remarks. You close the session and then we go home.
Okay. I want to say that I appreciate you for organizing this Global Youth Forum. And I see this is, I feel like Kenya has been at the front line of trying to bring young East Africans together. And the fact that Kenya has offered its home for a lot of South Sudanese, it's one of commendable things. And whenever I see my Kenyan brothers and sisters here, I feel like, like we're one people, you understand? And I welcome them a lot. And I think as East Africans, we should open our doors for everybody East African, because we are family. So my closing remarks is, guys, go out there, continue doing what you're doing. Global Youth Forum, continue creating platforms like this that bring us together, and we can share ideas. And let's not just leave our ideas here. Let's carry them outside. And Wharton, I should be able to get your contacts after this. And we can link up and see areas where we can collaborate. Monday, I see a lot of work we can do together. The fact that you're also in the country, we can link up and see how we can work together. I love networking, and I'm very open to that. Thank you so much.